Hello, my friends. So today's date is October the 17th, and this is a reading if this is your birth date, or if this is your anniversary date, or if this is some major important date in your life. You can look at your year that follows from this date from this reading. It's a 4 card pull. General energy card for the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or synopsis card. So, what is the general energy card for the year but the kiss? And what is the kiss except when you touch something outside of yourself that gives you a thrill, a connection, a sacred vibration? It raises you out of yourself and promotes you toward someone or something else that has a meaning for you, that has a life for you, that has a passion for you. So this is a year of looking at yourself when you touch something sacred, when something sacred is brushed up against your lips, is something sacred is brushed up against your heart, something sacred is brushed up against your will and your sense of want and your sense of love and your sense of compassion. Even the kiss is about not just falling in love with somebody, it's about falling in love with life. It's about falling in love with the special things that you can have an emotion in and have a taste in and have a touch in and have a kiss of. Taking a kiss of something luxurious, taking a kiss of something sacred, singing, dancing, chanting. Those are all kissing the sacred soul of being, the sacred soul of yourself. So this is a powerful movement of connection this year that offers you a chance to touch something really beautiful and sacred. Maybe this is another person who excites you. Maybe this is the sense of a child who makes you see beyond yourself and remember yourself as a child in deep and beautiful ways. Maybe it pulls up some old pains too, because the kiss often asks us, do we feel worthy to be loved? Do we feel worthy to have this kind of sacred touch? Do we feel supported by God, by family, by culture, by ourselves to enjoy this, to love this, to seek this, to go after this, and to feel like we can be a part of something bigger than ourselves, something outside of ourselves. We can be less selfish, and not I don't mean that in a negative way, but you know sometimes we forget about others and we forget about love, and we don't think that we're worthy, and we don't think we have a need, and we just push ourselves ahead, and we forget about touching the sacred, the mysterious, the sweet taste of life, and the sweet kiss of beingness. And that often has to be seen through another to remind us of who we are, and help us to look at ourselves in more complete ways by doing some healing work. The kiss is often about touching some healing work inside of us. So, what is your particular challenge, October 17th? Well, it is the Five of Swords, and I often look at this card and have a sense of the understanding. Swords are about mind, so they're about judgments, and so there's a judgment inside of you that maybe it's a judgment about feeling like those people who taught you how to love, quote, also came with a lot of baggage, who taught you how to feel guilty and ashamed of things that you did. And maybe there's, one person who is lecturing you in this card. It seems like a father energy. There's a mother energy that might be looking at him with some kind of anger, or might be looking at him with some kind of protecting herself because she's afraid of this energy of judgment as well. And it doesn't have to be a man. This can be anyone who gives one shame, who gives one calls one bad or wrong, or names them for doing something that doesn't go against their particular pattern of belief system. But often that person also comes with their own baggage that created that kind of belief system of guilt and shame and pain and fear and judgment and harsh judgments. So we're always looking in this world of, victims and bullies, to see who we are and to see how we are and to see what we healed. So your challenge, I think, is feeling like you're worthy to have love, feeling like you're worthy to be kissed by something sacred, feeling like you're not a bad person because someone else named you a bad person. And I think on some level you're feeling like, well, maybe I caused someone to not love me. Maybe I caused someone to not care enough about me because I was, quote, a bad person, because I did some kind of wrong, or because I was judged and thereby I'm angry at someone who judged me harshly and judged me wrongly, and I'm afraid to show myself again. I'm afraid to share my feelings again. I'm afraid to share my pain. But I want to, I'm afraid to. And the kiss is saying, oh, share with me, there's something sacred here. But the internal workings of your mind are saying, oh, you can't go there. Oh, you're not worthy, or no, you're bad, and you have bad things to say, or no, you're angry, and you don't want to push your anger out on somebody or something that you really love. So you hold yourself back and you hold yourself in. And I think that's the challenge, is doing that right now. You're really called to do some work on healing some old trauma that was given to you by someone else who had trauma, and continued a line of trauma down through ages, possibly family, possibly culture. Maybe this is your own trauma and you brought it on from something else, not just, parents, but just judging yourself harshly. Maybe you've done something that you really hate about yourself, and you're afraid to be there with it. You're afraid to honor it. You're afraid to do some healing work with it. But now is the time. So in essence, you want to feel safe. So what is the action you can take? When you feel safe, you can give of yourself better. When you feel safe, you can give and show your love better. So here's Fox with his great gift of camouflage. So if you can watch from the sidelines, watch without being seen as watching. Put yourself into the shadows and just look to see if you really feel safe with someone, or with some kind of event, or some kind of energy that's coming towards you, wanting a sacred kiss, wanting to go deeper on a sacred level. So you have to keep watching until you really feel like you can be in a safe zone with somebody. And you don't have to commit yet, this is not about committing. You can go step by step, you can go inch by inch, you can watch and watch and watch until you feel like you have the ability to yap like a fox and play like a fox, because they're very playful critters. They're very family-oriented critters. They'll watch to protect their family from the sidelines. It's a very powerful gift that you have of watchfulness, and it's one that's probably been cultivated from being someone who's needed to watch what they do because someone else is going to judge them harshly with what they do. So camouflage has probably been a big part of your life already, and you know how to hide yourself away so you can really understand what is going on with someone else. And the more you look to see what is going on with someone else, or look to see, what is being presented to you, and learn and judge that you can be safe enough to share yourself and share your play and share your depth, and come out of the woods a little bit and open up something in yourself. This is really a lot about your ability to say no. And underneath a lot of this is someone who took advantage of your boundarylessness. Maybe it's a sexual boundary. Maybe it's just an emotional boundary of being. Maybe it's the right to be alive, and test your waters so you can learn things along the way. Someone has told you no, someone has called you bad, someone has overstepped your lines, your boundaries. And so this is a new place of learning how to say no to those energies that you feel scared of and you can't go any further with. And you have this power. And this is the greatest power you have, the ability to say no, to the ability to say wait, the ability to say stop, let's take a breath, the ability to say let me proceed at my own pace with this, but I'm willing to proceed, but I need to have a little more time. I need to have a little more space. I need to have a little more sense of security and self within myself that I can go deeper with this. But I'm willing, but if I need to shut something down and shut something off, I know that I can do that too. I have a voice, I have the right to set my boundaries, and I have the sacred energies of love and compassion for myself. And that's really what you're learning about with the kiss. It's about kissing yourself deeper. It's about kissing yourself with love and compassion. It's about kissing yourself with honesty and kissing yourself with a sense of worthiness to be, alive, to be human, to go after and touch and taste what gives you your authenticity and break through old paradigms that stagnate and stymie you. So blessed be learning how to say no, learning how to be watchful, learning how to release some of the old pains of guilt and shame and fear that childhood or at any time in our life brings to us to learn as our lessons. But it comes through the kiss of something sacred asking you, compelling you to come forward to kiss it back. A Homataka.